Hey everybody, welcome back to the One Stop. As always, it's Brianna and Lindy. Today we are minus Chris, and we hope that everything works out for him. He's going through a tough time right now, a little family emergency, so he's handling that. So everybody keep him in your thoughts, him and his dad, and we will keep you guys updated. But for now, we're gonna hold down the fort for him until he can come back.
Yes, we are.
So let's talk about Zandvoort because it got crazy.
Let's talk about it. The wind,
Yeah.
first off.
Oh my God.
It was so
It was
windy.
like, yes. It was like twisters. That tailwind, it got the best of so many of them. It
Oh my
wasn't
gosh,
even
yes.
funny.
Logan, Nico, bless you.
I'm sorry.
You're good, bless you. Logan and Nico's crash. We can talk about that.
Yeah, let's do that. So Logan's crash has now prompted pretty serious conversation at Williams. That mid-season switch is looking more and more likely for him after his performance this weekend. I am really glad that he was able to walk away happily, not touched. Fire was put out, but that really, I think, sealed the deal for him, unfortunately.
It was a pretty gnarly crash. Like, I remember watching a video of George passing by, and he was like, are you okay? Are you okay? Like, hey, like, your car's on fire.
Right. Now, one thing about George is going to make sure you're good. If he sees a crash and he is near, he is going to make sure you're good. He is such a good guy.
George for that.
Yeah, he's always doing that.
You had Nico, which he just had a little bender with the barriers, but his wasn't as bad as Logan's.
No, he was fine.
Yeah.
But the drama was there for practice and quality. It's like it just really was. Especially with Haas and their payment issues. And
the drama.
I hear today finally they were able to move the cars, so they'll be in Monza.
Yeah. They couldn't they weren't allowed to let the trucks come get the cars until their payment was approved by court or whatever. Like they had paid it on Friday, but it wasn't accepted yet or wasn't confirmed. I don't know, but I think everything's good now.
I think so too. So let's also talk something extremely crazy that happened in the news. Jack, oh my God, promoted from reserve. Sim driving that got him onto the grid. Like, congrats, Jack. That was super cool. I'm excited.
I don't know a lot about him, so I'm excited to see him drive and stuff. But now I wonder one less spot for some of our favorite people like Danny Rick. So what's gonna happen?
And you're gonna bring that up, okay? I know because we got another Aussie out there on the grid, and there's only 3 seats left, and nobody's heard anything about Danny so far.
I know.
I'm really nervous about that. I'm not gonna lie. I'm trying to keep hope alive, but
It's 2 seats though, because Toto leaked that they did sign Kimmy.
Kimmy. Yeah, that's right.
Yet. So 2
See,
seats.
now you're just
It's okay. We will enjoy what Danny Rick we have left this season.
I'm having a mental breakdown.
It's okay. It's okay.
It just started. Losing my mind. Okay.
Speaking of mental breakdowns, George Russell almost had a mental breakdown when he had his little pit stop and accidentally ran over a cone, but thought it was someone's foot, and he was like, "I really hope that wasn't someone's foot." Because their foot would have been broke.
That was pure George British humor.
It was low-key so funny.
He is such a dad joke guy. Let's also talk about another wild 2 bits of information that happened during quali. Alex, after quali, got disqualified.
I know.
Yeah,
that was actually
intense.
Sucky. I hated that for him.
Honestly, I was actually really worried for Williams. I'll tell you one bit of information that got me heated. Can you guess what it is? Can you guess?
Something about Lewis.
Oh, girl, you just know me so well. Don't be messing with my guy. Don't mess with my man. But that was a ridiculous penalty. That's why. It was ridiculous. Where was he gonna go? To the
I didn't even
grass?
think that he impeded. I mean, where was he
He
supposed
stayed
to
out
go?
his way.
I think he stayed out too, but
he slowed down and everything. He knew he was there. I think it was just Checo. I think it was Checo. He had to bail out, and he wanted to blame it on somebody so it didn't look like it was his fault. But Lewis literally had nowhere to go. That's why I got mad. That's why we're throwing hands.
I'm not gonna point names, but like I think that was just Checo being Checo.
It was Checo being Checo.
Mm-hmm.
Like 100% Checo being Checo. And clearly I'm still affected. I'll be fine maybe in 3 to 5 business days. But that was just like, you put the odds against him. His poor day like already started from bad and it went to worse. Because he wasn't happy with his performance in quali. I mean, Carlos and him getting out in Q2 was like...
Yeah, I saw that
I was
like...
stunned.
What? The boys are out? Impossible.
They're out. The world flipped upside down. We did not know what to do with it. It was quite shocking. But I think it was shocking because we all thought Mercedes was going to look a little bit better on form compared to how they left for break, but also that they do pretty good at this track. Pace was not there.
Yeah, no, they've been doing so good lately, and then they came back after the break, and it was like, what is happening? We kind of went back a step.
Yeah. It really was. Let's talk about the race.
Let's talk about my man.
Oh, I knew it was coming. I knew. Okay, Team McLaren. Okay.
Team Lando.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Let me roll my eyes one more time.
Okay.
Oh my god. No, I'm just kidding. I'm actually really happy that he won. It was a really good race.
But did he win? Let's just start at the beginning, okay? Pole sitter. Yeah, spun the wheels in the beginning. It was a little questionable.
A little iffy.
He is currently, 0 for 4 on 1 for 4.
I mean, if you talk overall race result, yeah, he converted. But if you talk about first lap conversion, he's still working on the first lap conversion.
Yeah, it was questionable. But I remember tweeting on Threads. I remember putting on Threads like because didn't have the hottest start, but then also Oscar didn't have the hottest start. And so in my head I was like, okay, not unusual for Lando, but like Oscar also didn't start too well. So I was like, is this strategy? Are we trying to start a couple places behind, or like are we just having tire issues? Like what's happening?
I think it was just start. I think it's just start. And I know Oscar's was off. He's usually spot on, but I think it was just a start. I think this weekend they placed so much not this weekend. Last weekend. They placed so much importance on the start that I think when you're paying attention so much to one aspect of it, like you're bound to like botch it a little bit. Like just a little bit. And they were just a little bit off.
He caught up though.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say
he did. I mean, honestly, he Verstappen.
Oh, did he? That overtake on Max was so
don't you just love that?
22.9 second lead. That was how far he was from Max at the end.
I mean, I will say, just to address some of the commentary that's been had about this gap and about this win, because I don't know why people don't like to credit this man for the skill that he obviously has acquired over the years. Natural talent. Yes, the car is a rocket ship. Yes, it is. But the rocket ship does not win a race. You still need to be able to back that up and make smart decisions and have skill. And that came all together for him. It is not just the car. It's also the driver. Driver's heating up. So everybody, you've been addressed. Consider yourself addressed.
Lando is heating up because I remember seeing a lot of people in the comments being like, Lando no wins, Lando 1 win, but only because of a safety car. Okay, well now he's Lando 2 wins, and this one was rightfully earned.
Yeah.
No safety car, so like, what's the excuse now?
Yeah. Now, I will say the race wasn't as exciting as it could have been, but
True.
not every race needs a safety car. Not every race needs it to be wet and dry and then wet again. I think it was just a good old-fashioned dry race. I mean, we're going to have dry races. It's not going to be wet and entertaining every single time. It was a clean race, and it was one, I think, with very little drama for McLaren, which I think is a very good thing considering how things were.
Their strategy, I think, was on point for this race. It was pretty good. I heard something at the end, I think on TikTok, where apparently there was like a lot of commentary where they were saying that Lando was going to pit because they wanted to change his tires. And like, even if Max got ahead of him, he could still catch up on the fresher, what was it, like medium tires, because they were on hards. And I was like, oh my gosh, why would you try to pit just to get fastest lap, just to try and get the extra point? And then he literally got it with his hard tires, like at the very last second as he crossed the finish line. And apparently he did that on his own. He did not talk to the team about doing that and like ask if that was okay, because he said something like he thought that they were going to say no. So he went and did it anyways.
Speaking of points, that just sparked a thought. It is possible for him, right? Considering points for the end of the year, but it's going to take a whole lot. He's going to have to win every single race. I think, honestly, it's complicated. I think, yeah, sure, keep trying for first place, but you might be better suited battling it out for second. Like, truthfully.
Yeah, because him and McLaren are both.
Because he has competition with Charles.
Max has 295 points. Lando has 225, and Charles has 192.
Hold on.
I'm just bracing for the sneeze.
Yeah, we're good now.
Okay.
You're so good. Sorry.
So yeah, like you were saying, he has to watch out for Charles, but unless Charles just starts heating up out of nowhere, I think Lando definitely has second place secured, but can he get to Max and then pass him? I don't know about that. But if anything, McLaren will probably
You do know that Monza's here.
Oh yeah.
You do know that Monza's here, right?
So we'll see how that goes.
You do know that Monza is a Ferrari track because their car does well on bumpies. On bumpies. I don't like how I said that. That's gross. There's a lot of bumps and curve riding. They're very good at that. The RB isn't. And even if Max keeps placing fairly high, even getting podiums, he's still gonna affirm that lead. It's a three-way battle for third place. Charles, Carlos, and Oscar. But if Charles and Carlos pull out something in Monza and Lando doesn't, that's opening up the door for Charles to catch him for second place.
Yeah.
Lando has to pretty much be perfect till the end of this season.
And yeah, and Oscar has to do well too, because when you look at constructor, Red Bull is 434, McLaren 404. So McLaren could pass Red Bull, but Ferrari's 370. So they're not that much further behind. So like,
no, it's gonna be tight.
Depends.
It's gonna be tight. The boys are gonna just have to put it on. I mean, honestly, all the boys are gonna just have to put the Riz on. Put the Riz on and drive like your life depends on it till the end of the season.
Yeah. Doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, it needs to be perfect, but nothing's perfect. So if we could just make minimal mistakes, that would be good.
Yeah, like maximized opportunities. No more midfield mentality. It's time if you want to be a shark, it's time to be a shark. You want to be a dragon, be a dragon. It's time. Like, it's time to smell blood in the water and freaking go. You know what I'm saying?
Like, it's
but you know what? That's just me.
The races are getting
That's
fewer
just
and
me.
fewer. But,
oh God, we're at like what, 9 left now?
Yeah, I think so.
It's freaking wild. I can't wait for that. I can't wait for Austin.
I know, it's so soon, and you're going to it.
Yeah. I keep bouncing. I need to stop. Okay. Continue.
I was going to say that I saw on the radio where Max was having steering issues on turn 10. And he was like, guys, like, I can't steer the car. Like, the car's not steering. And I remember seeing a slow-mo and, like, it literally, the wheels were not turning. He was just, like, lipping around. but he's still a good
Mm.
driver. Like, you gotta
That
give him his
RB.
props.
Max will forever be legendary for that because the man is a car, and he can drive any vehicle you put him in, and he's going to find a way to get the most out of it at every single opportunity that he has, which is just insane. Once in a generation talent for him.
Could you just imagine?
But that RB is struggling.
It is struggling, especially with apparently McLaren just had a whole bunch of new upgrades too. Like, can you just imagine Max in the McLaren? Wild. I think that would be crazy.
Honestly. That scares me. That thought scares me because I'm like actually trying to like picture. I'm like, wow, like don't let him figure out every single bit of that car because that's trouble. It's gonna be Max dominance all over again.
Yeah, don't be Fernando.
Like he was all up in that car.
He was like squatting down.
Did you see him? He was all up in that car.
He was like,
it's like Fernando.
This car.
Somebody just said Salt Bay with a Riz on freaking McLaren's car, and they just like took off. It's insane.
Yeah,
I love it though.
He was trying to figure it out
because it shook up the season the way it needed to be messed with. It really did. It shuffled the deck of cards, and now they have a whole different race on their hands.
Yeah, I don't think anyone was expecting a Lando McLaren dominance this year. It honestly just came out of nowhere.
Honestly though, don't let Ferrari get their stuff together because once I get it's like the viral saying, once I get myself together, it's over for you hoes. Like that's exactly
no, literally. Once they get
Ferrari right now. Once they get it together, it's over.
Yeah, then things are gonna even out.
Yeah, but that's me. That's my Tifosi Delulu talking.
But I loved it for Charles.
But I did too. And it was a very unexpected podium. I'm very happy he got it. He worked hard for that. But Carlos did well. Lewis did well. They both tried to regain and do a little bit of damage control, and I think they were pretty successful in their endeavors. It wasn't enough, and the pace was scary for those two. I know Mercedes was running on two different setups for their cars, but I think Ferrari had the same on both cars for spec, but it just wasn't there. Yeah. It just wasn't enough to compete.
But they did do good.
Sucks, man. I really wanted it. They did do good. They did.
Carlos and Lewis went up like 5-6 spots, maybe more. I don't remember how many, but they were like in the middle of the grid, and then they like worked their way up to the top. So it was good.
Lewis started 15th, and he ended up at 8. He gained 7.
Okay, nice. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, he did pretty good. But you know, for him, that's not going to be enough.
Yeah,
I mean, he's got big time championship mentality. He won't ever be satisfied with that type of performance. I mean, but that, you know, hopefully Monza does better.
Like when you're so used to winning, like you're not going to settle for like P7, P8, P6. Like you want to be on that podium.
Well, it's not even that. I mean, that is a huge thing. Yeah. I've won for how many years? How many freaking years have I been the person to win? And how many championships and goated this and goated that? And yeah, you're not winning now, but also just the mind of an athlete is such an intense place to live. The smallest mistake is the biggest tragedy. It is devastation. It is, why can't I do this? Why am I not doing it right? I don't belong here. There's other people that deserve this more than me. Clearly, he's better than me. I need to be doing this, this, and this, and pushing myself that much more. This is unacceptable, and it takes away every other good thing you've ever done just over one thing, because that excellence is required every single week, every single time. Like, I totally get that. I live there. That is where my brain stays. And it is a hard thing to just not have hardwired in your brain to be able to make mistakes. Mistakes are always opportunities and learning opportunities, but you never want to have to keep learning. Like, you want to keep learning to get better, but you don't want to have to keep learning from your mistakes. You want to just be able to learn from other people.
I think it's like
it's tough.
How Lando is like so hard on himself. He's always like, I don't think I'm championship material yet. Like, I keep making all these mistakes. I keep letting mistakes happen, and then it's just like,
right,
it's gonna happen until you learn from them. Which comes with
it's going to happen until those mistakes have been put into your body as muscle memory, and you've learned how to not make them. And muscle memory is a very strong thing. So it's coming. His form is coming. It's tightening up. You can see he's making less and less mistakes even from the start of the season. But like, when you have somebody like Lewis and he's been here a while and he knows the clock is ticking for him, biologically ticking for him, and just, I think, mentally ticking for him. I mean, he has a lot of other things he's good at and that he likes to do.
Yeah.
And he wants to do. You know that these types of mistakes are just going to be completely unacceptable. It'll be devastating because there's that element of time. Lando has time.
Yeah.
He has as much time as he needs. But Lewis does not have much left.
That reminds me of like, speaking of time, I remember someone asking Max in an interview, like, this is your 200th race now. Do you think you'll be here another 200 races? And he's like, no, like, I don't plan on being here a whole lot longer. Like, I'm going to be here, but I'm not staying for years and years like some of the other people here.
And we knew that. Max has always said he wants dominance or he doesn't want it at all. We know that. That is not entertaining for him to not have dominance. I think he is enjoying racing still, but we all know that even with his company, there are different types of racing that he wants to explore, and we knew that he wasn't going to stay around forever. I think we had maybe 1 or 2 good years before he's like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Like, for real done. Which, I mean, is okay. I mean, he came to do what he came to do, and he did it.
Yeah, Project Verstappen was accomplished.
And the schedule wears on him. Yeah. And the schedule, he's always talked about how it wears on him. I mean, it wears on them all, but he's talked about it so vocally about how the way it's put together just doesn't make much sense for them physically.
Yeah.
But I know it's really hard to make all these events with religious holidays, seasons, travel, all of that. It's hard to make a calendar that can group all the races all in one time.
Yeah.
All the American races at once and all of these places at once. But
I'd actually love to see him another time of racing.
Same. He'd be
I could see
one hell of an endurance racer.
Yes. Like, what is it, the Le Mans?
He'd be a great endurance racer. Yeah.
I could see him doing that. Oh, but going back to Charles real fast, I think this is like the last thing I thought of, but I remember in an interview, they were like asking him like what were his thoughts on this weekend, and he's like, you guys keep asking me this, like, I'm not happy with the result, I'm not happy with the car, like, what more do you want me to say? I come here, you ask the same question, I say the same thing. And then when he got the podium, he was like, bless you. He was like, I really didn't expect to get a podium, bless you, this weekend, but I'm happy that I did. You know, like, hopefully things are looking up. And I was like, good for him, honestly, because those reporters love to just antagonize them in those interviews.
Which, I mean, I get is their job, but at the same time, like, stop asking the same questions.
Yeah.
Like, you can ask other questions that are also intelligent and also get a response out of people. That you don't have to repeat yourself.
Bless you.
Sorry, Texas is killing me slowly. Charles is gonna get frustrated when we get. Y'all have heard of Mad Max. Everyone's heard of Mad Max, but when you get like Charles pissed off, that ain't good either. And he's starting to get frustrated.
Sassy.
Because they had it in this first half. I do love his sass. His sass is everything. sass master. But
especially with his accent.
I think Monza will be a good turning point. The accent is everything. I don't understand half of what he's saying. I just like the way it sounds.
I love it.
It sounds fancy.
I
but
lied.
Piastri.
Yeah, I had one more point about Piastri from this morning. I read an article about something that he said in an interview. He just was saying how like he wasn't happy with fourth place. Like he thinks that this weekend needs to be looked at on a deeper level. Because he was just saying how like basically he thinks he should have got podium, like he should have been third. Because he was behind Charles for a long time, but somehow just couldn't pass him. But Charles did good defending. But he was just like, yeah, I'm not happy with the results, and I think we need to look over what happened because like, what the heck?
I think I saw that too. Yeah, he's hungry for more, and he also wants to keep contributing as much as he can to the points. But I hate what he's saying, but Charles did defend him within an inch of his life the whole time. Like, for real. But he'll get it. I mean, Oscar's a force. Everybody knows not to mess with him. And he has a very impressive CV. He had one that was so impressive his first year, his rookie year. Like, he is a good driver. He's going to find himself up on the podium, I think, in Monza. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, because you got Max and not Max.
I need Charles up there again.
Yes, yeah, I would love to see him on the podium up there.
The Tifosi need a Ferrari podium, okay? I'm just gonna say it right now. All my Tifosi will agree with me. It is time to have a podium with Ferrari at Monza.
Or two. I'll take them both.
I love how I say Tifosi. Every time I say Tifosi, I would too, but I'm trying to like not be greedy, but I want to be greedy.
No, be greedy. Be greedy. Because all I'm saying is
give me my Ferrari.
If they can both get on the podiums, that's double points for them, okay? You got two teammates. You got Lando and Oscar, two teammates. Then you only have Max. But all the pressure's on Max to keep, Red Bull in first when Checo's not doing too hot. Like, you got four teammates against one teammate all trying to make the team win. Like, it's crazy.
We are hoping that we see a Ferrari podium next week and maybe some more papaya up there too. Maybe. Don't tell her that. Yes. We hope that Chris is able to join us and that everything is okay with him and his family. We hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week. We are going to be posting this later than normal, but that is fine. And we will see you very, very soon. And keep an eye out for Ryan, okay? Because her episode's coming out soon.
Special guest
just on the down low. Be ready. Oh yeah. So yeah, you guys stay amazing. You'll hear from us throughout the week. We love you.
Adios.